One of the most popular Bible designs, at least in the U.S., is the Thinline. Today I'm taking a look at the ESV Thinline Bible from Crossway in buffalo leather in deep brown. See what we have here. It comes in a one-piece box. Now the deep brown is really dark. It almost looks black, but not quite. This is buffalo leather. I'm almost positive that it's water buffalo. I've asked that, but I haven't confirmed it yet. And if it's different from that, then I'll post that in the notes. But it has a nice grain. It looks like cowhide and feels like cowhide, which is one of my favorite leathers. I personally feel that cowhide is one of the most underrated leathers there is for Bibles, and it's one of my favorites. This is just like that, and I love it. I prefer this leather to their genuine leather. I like this a lot. It's excellent leather. Has a nice grain, and then perimeter stitched. 1, 2, 3, 4 spine ribs with stamped in gold. And this is a paste down liner with brown, dark brown vinyl. Smythe sewn, and this was made in China. In the front we have presentation page, marriages, births, and deaths. The paper, I think, is around 30 GSM. It's white in color, maybe off-white. No glare under direct light. Decently opaque. This is the same text block that is used in the imitation leather editions. So they've taken the imitation leather editions and then they've added the better leather. And this is the 2016 text. The typeface is an 8-point, I believe it's lexicon, with about 9 words per line, with a good amount of space between the lines. About a medium in darkness. Paragraph with slightly bolder verse numbers. They're not too bad, not too hard to find. I had no issues finding them. And then across the bottom we have the translation footnotes. Across the top it shows the book name, chapter and verse number in the outer margin, and then page number in the inner margin. Includes a poetic setting. They're not all broken in good places. Sometimes it just goes all the way to the end of the line and then places the rest of it indented. Sometimes this makes 1 word per line. I prefer this style where we have better broken areas. It's divided up better. That's a good example. Book start on a new page. I always like that. This is not line matched, but it does match a lot. Where it doesn't match, it's not too bad distracting. The show through is there, but it's not a deal breaker for me. It does look pretty good. It's more noticeable in the poetic settings than anywhere else. This is a red letter edition. It's about a medium in darkness in red. I do prefer a little bit bolder red, but this is still good. I can read this. Print quality is consistent. Maybe a slight variation. Then in the back we have table of weights and measures, which includes the biblical unit, the approximate American and metric equivalents, and then the biblical equivalent. Concordance is good size. 3 columns per page. And pretty good bit of information in here. This is really good for personal study and for a good start on sermon prep. There's how many we have for God. I think 52, 54 in that range. And then maps. These are the thick, semi-glossy pages with muted colors. They're a little bit difficult to read when you have this much on the page. So there's quite a bit on there, so it's a little bit difficult to find what you're looking for. It does not include an index. That would help a lot. It does have topography, distance, routes. There's what our maps look like. And that's just a good basic carry Bible. I like it a lot. The Thinline is one of my favorite designs. We have about 5 3/4 by 8 7/8 by 1 inch, less than 1 inch. Single ribbon. The ribbon is dark brown. Yeah, that's a good Bible for carry. It weighs 1 pound, 5.8 ounces. There are a few Bibles I want to compare it to, just in case you're familiar with them. First is the Pit Minion. So there's what our thickness and footprint looks like. And compare the text. Here's what our text looks like. This one is goatskin, and the goatskin has more of a grain to it, more of a shine to it. Both are paste down liners. That's how they compare. Next is the personal size Quintel, a lot thicker, but a shorter footprint. And then here's how they compare. Now this Quintel is calfskin. So this calfskin is a little bit grainier than the buffalo. Has a little bit deeper grain. The texture is about the same. Very similar. If anything, this one is thicker. Another is the goatskin heirloom edition of the ESV Thinline. I'm not sure they still make this one. This is made in the Netherlands by Royal Youngblood. And they are the same pagination, but not the same text block. Not the same materials. This is goatskin versus the buffalo. And that's edge lined. The paper is 28 GSM Indopaque, which is a French paper, versus the 30 GSM paper. Here's how they compare. Let's look at some poetry. This one is actually more opaque. This is that paper that's got the titanium pigment. And then finally we have the ESV Pew Bible. And they are also the same pagination. So that gives a lot of options. This is a lot cheaper Bible, easier to carry and just do whatever you want to do with it. This one has different paper. I'm not sure the GSM. Probably 36, I'm guessing. I don't know, but that's good paper. But it feels good. It doesn't feel like cheap paper. It's got a good texture to it. And here's how they compare. The opacity is very similar. So that is our quick look at the ESV Thinline in buffalo. I love this buffalo. That is good leather. It's got a nice grain to it, a nice texture. It has a little bit of a soft touch. It will take a little bit to open up and stay open in Genesis. So it will need to be used quite a bit. There we go. About the end of about Exodus, it's good to, it'll stay open. Deuteronomy, there we go. That's better. So it's, for preaching, it might be a little bit difficult if you're preaching in Genesis or in Revelation. It will need to be broken in. Here, back at the end of it. So it will need to be broken in. It's excellent for carry. It's excellent for reading. I'm a big fan of the Thinline editions just because it's a good size, a good overall text size, good weight, good size to put in a backpack and to put just to carry with you. This is a good size Bible, so I like this a lot. Another advantage in this is that you can get the Pulpit Bible has the same pagination, so you can get this in the large pulpit size. You can get it in an imitation leather. You can get it in a good quality buffalo leather, or you can get it in goatskin. So there's a lot of options for the Thinline, but I do like this buffalo a lot. It's one of my favorite leathers. Crossway did provide this in exchange for an honest review. If I could change one thing, I think I would make it a little bit less stiff so that it would stay open better. I'll place some links in the notes where you can make a purchase if you're interested. If you do use the links, they are affiliate links, so I do get part of that sale. That does help keep BibleBuyingGuide.com running, and I appreciate any help that I can get there. I'll also place a link to the written review with more information and more detail. And if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching.